Well, hey, folks. Didn't really see you there, even though I'm staring dead right at you. How's it going? How was your Thanksgiving? What did you say that you were thankful for? I'm thankful that you're here. I'm thankful that you're watching. And even though this isn't quite a pilgrim hat, you get the point. So, on the last video, we looked at a more modern, nature-esque type of house that took the inspiration of its surroundings and delivered a home where you can appreciate everything that nature provides. Today, we look at something along those same lines, but this house isn't modern at all. In fact, just looking at the exterior, I feel like this person was a huge fan of the cartoon Flintstones. And for you younger folks out there that may be watching this, the Flintstones was a cartoon based on Fred Flintstone and his wife and friend Barney. In this cartoon, it took the perspective of what life was for humanity in the prehistoric age, but with the ideals of how we live in modernization today. Actually, it really is a really great idea in cartoon when you really think about it now. They should reboot that. Reboot that. Okay? Reboot it. You guys reboot everything else. Reboot the Flintstones. Anyway. Anyway, this house kind of took me there to that. So this house is in a location called Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree is essentially the desert, and it is here in California. And there are some very expensive homes in Joshua Tree. There's some very affordable homes in Joshua Tree. By the way, if you need someone to show you around Joshua Tree, call me, because personally, I like the idea of getting out of LA for a few days. So I'll go with you. We're going to hang out and we'll find you a place in Joshua Tree. Sound like a deal? Sounds good to me. My number's still the same. So anyway, let's go ahead and check this out. This is another video from Architectural Digest, by the way. Like I said, they have so many amazing videos, it makes absolutely no sense. Like, look at this.
The interior design in this house, it's not my preferred style. It is my style. It's my vocabulary, my shapes, and also that's
it's not my preferred style.
The bones that Ken gave
style.
me. It's a reaction to the shapes that he laid down.
That's crazy.
Over
Surrounded
the years,
by all
it's
these
still
rocks,
changing and growing. It is.
Look, these are all solar panels. That is so nifty. I don't know why I said nifty, but that's just so clever to just shape the solar panels to like these. This is just like crazy. All these irregular shapes to, you know, it's I don't know. This is crazy. Let's continue.
Almost like a living object.
It does look like a living object. Wow. This is the Flintstones.
My name's John Buckern. I'm the interior designer and fabricator on the Kellogg Doolittle project. It was
John,
built for Bev and Jay Doolittle.
Amazing.
And the architect is Kendrick Bangs Kellogg.
Kendrick
I would
Bangs
describe
Kellogg. This
Ken
is
Kellogg
amazing.
as really underestimated genius.
Oh, wow. My bad. So those weren't solar panels. I thought those were solar panels. That's just skylight windows. That's cool. Now I'm curious, where is the electricity coming from? But, you know, that's a whole nother thing. Look at this bed. Like, this bed is huge. And it's just like
He underestimated
submerged
genius.
in the view.
Construction started in '89. I
This house
came
is
to the
that
house
old?
in 1994.
Maybe this
I've been
was
at the house
inspired
so
by the
many years,
Flintstones.
and for such a long period of time, I feel like the house is a part of me. Like, it's my identity. Jay Doolittle would always tell me, I don't care how long it takes or how much it costs, I just want you to do your best work. The new owner, Scott Leonard, and I are continuing with basically the same relationship.
I like this
where
guy.
you don't get carte blanche, but it's the best next thing to it.
You got
The
a friend in
terrain
me,
this house
John.
is situated on is 10.5 acres.
10.5 acres. See, that's what I wanted to know about the last
National
house.
Forest. I'm sure when Ken saw the starkness
my
and the beauty
God.
when he came out here, it inspired him to do these shapes. The original owner of the house, Jay, was fascinated by fossils. Every other week when I arrived, he would have another book on fossils for me. So I tried to incorporate a lot of vertebrae type motifs. The whole time I was building it, I had a pair of headphones on and I was listening to Miles and Monk and Coltrane. I just liked the repetition in jazz, but the whole thing forms another bigger picture. So it's what I try to do with my shapes.
John, this is mind blowing.
On this side is 14 columns, and on that side is 12 columns. And you can see that they don't touch. There's close to 1,000 panes of glass up there. Another challenging thing on this project is everything is coming up a golf cart path. Every piece of glass that you see in the house, some of them are 10 foot, 12 foot high, and 5 feet wide and weigh 600 pounds. Just getting things physically moved around here is really difficult.
This is insane.
Bev Doolittle was a painter, and she used these two tables here to do her artwork on. And now they're used for dining tables and entertainment. Originally, they weren't supposed to touch the ground at any point, but when the structure was done, and if you took your finger and just touched it, it would just vibrate.
Move.
So I ended up putting these parts that come up to hold the glass. I lived in Carrara, Italy, where this marble's from. And I had a thin piece of it leaned up against a window, and I saw the light passing through it. And it reminded me of alabaster, which they used to make lampshades out of. And the shape is inspired by the early Sputnik satellites that the Russians put into orbit. If you see these things in the dark building, looks like they're floating like stars in the sky. Because I was working on this
John's
house
a good
well into
storyteller.
the evening, I knew how dark it was.
He's told this story
When it came time to make
several
the structure
times.
here, I decided to turn it into a lighting fixture that could light up the whole house. It was kind of inspired by a skeleton that's been bleached out of the sea urchin.
I
It's got
like
that kind of
listening
shape,
to interior
and it's got the
designers
little
talk.
ridges on it. I always thought those were kind of pretty.
Man, I could listen to John talk all
This
day.
is one of 9 exterior doors. Each door has to hit one column, but it has to go to the other. So in order for the door to function, I needed at least one straight edge. Then all the handles, each one is individually made. Each door has its own motif for the edged glass. The frosted glass
you know
reads
what?
as
It's like
kind
the
of a
top of the
mint
house.
green to me, and there's a lot of plants out in the desert that have that same silvery green tone. This stone structure you see was a planter. It had cactus
So this
and
is like
plants
that's the
in
bar.
it, and Scott said he didn't need another planter,
You
but he
can
really
have,
love
like,
a bar.
having a party
Once
out
again,
there is
we have
amazing.
the kind of spinal column thing with the ribs coming off. There's 360 of these ribs, and they articulate to form kind of another shape.
It's
So
like,
if you've
this
ever
would be
had
like
a
the best
drink
nightclub in
standing
the
around
middle
a
of nowhere. You have
planter,
like
it's
a
just
Burning Man
great.
party. Like a Burning Man, you know, like style party. Theme that style. Theme.
Bab Doolittle had an Apple computer, and it was clear plastic, greenish. I made the desk
Really?
to match the computer.
Shout out to Steve
Originally,
Jobs.
all the light switch plates in the whole house were made for this old school analog type light switch. When Scott moved in, he wanted to update the lighting system. This is one of the only remaining one, and we're hoping in the future when we have a little bit more time to make new switch covers.
He's over here so detailed down to the light switch
kind of
covers.
introverted people,
Like,
so they never
he's thinking of
thought
everything.
that they would need more than 4 chairs at their dining table. It's cantilevered fully on a steel tube. It passes through the column and continues out to the exterior dining table.
Good.
I like the
What?
orange color of the Rosa Verona
That's
because in a lot of the concrete, there are similar colored stones.
Eat inside, eat
related
outside.
to the
Doesn't
tone
matter.
of
The
this.
table is all connected.
This is the living room. It has
I
a
don't want to
fireplace.
eat with you, Dad.
When Ken
Fine.
and I were
Go
designing
outside.
it, he did this concrete shell, and I did this portion. I was kind of thinking one of those sea creatures, I think it's called a nautilus. When I was designing this,
No idea
I
what a
bent
nautilus
the
is.
stairs up to continue under this concrete shell, and I think it works pretty well. Jay, the original owner, he used to like to go hiking in the canyons down in South Palm Springs, and he really likes the river rocks. We use these in the bathroom, and this is just a continuation.
Wow. I like that a lot.
The entrance to this room is kind of a homage to Frank Lloyd Wright, who used to like to compress you into a tiny
that's
space.
a skinny doorway.
And then when you get through, it gets voluminous. Scott was wanting another bedroom.
And look, it's just the
we
rocks
decided
are, like,
to build this
in
bed.
there.
It's the biggest thing I've ever built as far as a piece of furniture. Originally, Scott was thinking that it would be more of a gathering place than a bedroom, like a bunch of friends could get on here. He likes it so much now that it's used as his primary bedroom.
Heck yeah.
This is the primary bathroom. This is a bronze his and her sink. I really let it go on this one. I didn't hold
like
back.
that sink how
I
it's
couldn't
like
tell
this
you what the
opposite
design
side.
for
You
this
could
is
brush your
inspired
teeth.
by.
You could brush your
It
teeth at the
was
same
more of
time.
just a process of drawing and drawing and drawing.
And be kind of
until
facing each other,
I
even though
came
that
up
there's a
with
mirror
shape
right
I
there.
liked. In order to get this up here, it weighs so much. We made a wheel
All that he would
out
need
of
to do is get one of those
round
mirrors
circle
where,
out of
you know, like
plywood. Put
the
the sink in it and rolled it from the
two-way mirror.
all the
where
way
you
up
could
here.
just turn it off and get the two-way mirror.
This is
that
the
the office?
primary bedroom. It's,
Oh,
if you
okay.
see here, this is the lighting fixture that you saw before.
So this was the primary
That's
bedroom.
where we are. We're on top
So
of that.
it's a loft.
The bed is situated to look out the clear story, and it's really beautiful at night to see all the stars.
Yeah.
The Doolittles were really into books, so they wanted as many books as possible to fit in here. The wood sat for 6 years in the garage on stickers to dry out. And then I put it together. When these were made, these reveal sort of the thickness of a dime. And you can see that even though these have 11 coats of automotive finish on them, what was the thickness of a dime is now almost 3/8 of an inch. You can see how much wood shrinks in the desert. Nowadays, you can't buy this automotive finish. This is highly toxic stuff from the 80s.
At least he's keeping it real. He's like, this stuff's toxic.
It's a guest bedroom. It kind of feels to me like a little cathedral in here. has a different feel from the rest of the house.
I wonder what the
if you have the
acoustics
choice
are like
between
in this house.
cantilevering and not cantilevering, I always choose to cantilever. So this desk is cantilevered. The bed here has shelves. The marble was in the form of a huge block about
cool.
the size of a small car, and every piece of marble in here came out of the same rock. We still haven't completed the house, so this is one of those details. I just jimmy rigged something, and
that's
still
what he
have
calls
to be
jimmy rigged.
Fabricated.
Jerry rigged is what he said.
This
he
is
called
a
it
guest
jimmy rigged.
bathroom, and it's one of my favorite rooms in the house. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just went crazy with the marble, and I fabricated these sinks and cabinets. Sink. I just love the shapes and the volumes. When I was in college, there was a furniture maker there.
He really loves his shapes.
Named Jack Hopkins, and he taught me to make furniture by stacking wood. And then I took his technique and transferred it to marble. The columns all go down into the ground approximately 14 feet. The placement of the house was totally up to Ken. It just goes to show you his genius, though, that it's one thing to be looking at a topographical map, but it blows your mind to try to think about how you could place a building in a mass of boulders. It's almost beyond imagination how his mind works.
I'm blown away by it.
Premises that the interior and exterior become one as much as possible. The house floor begins at the street and flows through the whole house. The material for it came from a rock slide. It's an exact match in material and color for the boulders that are in the house. The boulders just flow right through the floor out into the landscape. I think this house will be around forever because of the choice of materials. It's basically stone that's been ground up and put back together. Yeah, it's basically the nature,
Like it's basically what nature has given.
By the label of organic architecture. One influence that I never talked about through my whole career was abstract expressionist painting. And you have like Jackson Pollock and you have Mark Rothko, and they're just completely different. To me, I would just say this is like Ken's thing. Like Ken's an artist. I don't
You're
know
an artist,
trying
John.
to put a label on it really helps to describe what it is.
John, you're a gosh darn artist, bro.
The house, it has a certain austerity to it, but on the same token, I think because of the choice of materials, it feels really warm inside the house to me, but it still has a little bit of edge to it, which I really like. When you have people in this space, it is great. It is really wonderful. Even though it was never made for entertaining, it's the perfect spot to entertain.
It is the perfect spot to entertain.
My work on the house has taught me everything about designing and fabricating. Especially in recent years, it's taught me to be more social, enjoy showing it to people. And so I feel really good about that. This house comes as close as anything could be to the feeling you get like looking at a Mark Rothko painting or listen to John Coltrane. I hope it gets that feeling.
Well, my boy John, you did your thing, brother. You did your thing. Like, not only was this house, architecturally speaking, designed so uniquely, right? I know I was kidding about the whole Flintstones thing, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. It is exactly that. But let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about John's design style and how that was completely unique in every way, in every type of aspect. And it was just, I love the floors. I love all the concrete. I love the whole rocks being a part of the structure. I love that. I love that house. Now, personally, would I like to live there? No. No. The reason that I say that is because it's Joshua Tree. It's Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree is an amazing place to get out, to go camp, to go like I said, you could have like an amazing party there, like an amazing party at that house. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Burning Man themed. I mean, you could just do a regular party, like a regular party, and it'll be amazing. So no, that house is an architectural marvel. The design is extraordinary and bar none, completely unique. Like, you walk into this house and I could wholeheartedly say that you are getting something that you cannot find anywhere. Not just in that's it goes both ways. It goes both ways through the interior design and the architectural design. So yeah, this is a house that you do this, you put this in as your like one of your show piece properties that are completely designed, out of nowhere. This isn't a modern box, which could have easily been placed there. In the 80s, you throw in like a mid-century modern type of house that does have a lot of glass, if you're familiar with mid-century modern. But they went totally off the wall. Literally, no pun intended, literally off the wall. The rock is the wall. They went off the wall. And I'm in love with that place. Like I said, living there, it's kind of hard to imagine living in Joshua Tree because you're living in a desert, right? You're literally living in a desert. And that's the part I can't get past. Other than that, the place is livable. I mean, with all the shapes and stuff, definitely if you're on the more husky side, getting through, that one door you showed with the big bedroom, it's probably going to be a pain. Like, you're probably not going to be able to fit through that door. But if you're, not of super husky size, then like it works. Even if you gotta kind of slide in there. I mean, look, you see the cameraman got through there, so anyone could get through that doorway. But no, the design, look, the design completely unique. You won't see something like that in another house. Maybe he has I don't think he has anything else that's designed to that magnitude. So you're getting architectural one of one, and you're getting an interior design one of one if you get this particular house. And it is something that it's like, if you're going to have like properties that, that you have because you just got it like that, you have all this money, because that's something that someone would own, because this is not a place that I see anyone particularly living in 365 days out of the year, right? And I know that's a bit of exaggeration. Let's just say half of the year. I don't think anyone's living at that house half of the year. Also, it is that just like that last house that we did on the last video. This house would be a perfect Airbnb. Like, perfect Airbnb. So no matter what you're getting it for, whether it's you want to have a desert vacation home that is an architectural marvel, this house covers that side. And if you wanted to get a potential vacation rental, because I mean you could charge up the I was gonna say the wazoo, but you can charge in exorbitant premium for this as a vacation rental. And like I didn't see a pool. The house that probably doesn't have one. It might have one. Maybe we just didn't see it. But I mean, you don't really need a pool. Like in Joshua Tree, you don't really need a pool. You're going to get away from water. If you're going to Joshua Tree, you're really going to get away from water. Otherwise, you just come here to LA. You can go hang out at the beach all day. You know what I mean? So beautiful house. If that pool thing matters to you, you got 10 acres to add whatever kind of pool you want. So yeah, that's amazing. I'm out of words. So keeping up with the new thing, let's look at the comments. All right. So for the first comment from Bean Gesserit, I hope that's pronounced properly. It's probably not. I probably butchered the hell out of it. But it's amazing how primitive and futuristic it looks at the same time. It feels ancient, yet very modern. It's artistically functional. Now that is a description. That's like the perfect tagline right there. Like that right there is like a professional critic one-liner. Like if I was selling this house, I would use that. That would be the start of my description. Primitive and futuristic. An ancient yet very modern, artistically functional work of art. Okay. Not work of art. Architectural marvel. Well, that's what we would use. All right. Next comment is Crescent Beach, the architect and interior designer fabricator, because he did use the word fabricator a lot. That's how you know this person watched the video. The architect and interior designer fabricator are absolutely genius. Totally agree. I've never seen such an immersive and integrated expression of architecture, design, and artistry. That would have been my second line. I would have used the first comment, then we use the second comment. And lastly, Ken Kellogg is one of the most unique organic architects ever, and one of the first to bring it to residential. He has some very amazing and lesser known homes he's designed all throughout Southern California. One of my favorites, of course, is the Doolittle House, as well as Wing Sweep. We will be checking those properties out because I actually really do like the design aspect. Like, he definitely, like the way that his mind worked to put this to like, put the plans together for this and to have that vision, like definitely genius. Definitely genius. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And more importantly, it's Black Friday. If you're going out, go and do some shopping. Make sure you get some good deals. Everyone's got good deals going on. This video isn't sponsored, but obviously Amazon always has good deals. Best Buy, Target, you name it. Go do some shopping. Get some for those people that you were thankful for yesterday. So on Thanksgiving, because Black. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. And just remember, I love you. Peace.